me. We're joined by Camila Kater. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, it's so lovely to have you here. I hope you can kind of see some of our audience as well. When I first found your film, I was so taken aback by how conceptually beautiful it was and how you managed to express so much in so little time. And I'm
Thank you.
absolutely in love with the animation style and these voiceovers and these stories. And I think my first question to you is going to be, how did you find these five female animators, and how did you find these five women to do the voiceover, and how did you pair them together as well? Because I think there's a lot of really interesting work that's done combining the visual aspect with the storytelling, especially with like the watercolor and things like that. So I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the process.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me for this Q&A. We found the characters through a lot of research. We made some. We released a form online, and we got from response from that. And also, some friends recommended other women because they knew about the project. And first I created some profiles, so I already knew which chapters would be in the film, and the main themes I want to work on. So, for example, in the first chapter, the childhood one, the rare phase, I wanted someone to telling a story about being fat during childhood. So this was the profile. And then the challenge was to find someone. I didn't know which story would be, but we had this profile. And regarding the artists, the animators, in the right beginning of the project, I already had 4 of them, including me, because I animated the first chapter, the one with the plate and the doll.
Love that one.
Yeah, and I've been working with those other 3 animators in other projects. I've been working in a feature film in Brazil, stop motion feature film, and they were my colleagues as working in the art department. And they are also more familiarized with the techniques they've been working on Carne. So Giovanna Afonso, she works with 2D animation, and she's also works with watercolor paintings. Flavia, she works with 2D digital, and Cassandra, she works with stop motion, but it was her first time working with clay.
Wow.
And yeah,
it's so impressive, that one.
It's beautiful. Yeah. And the last one, I didn't know any women animator in Brazil who worked with celluloid animation painting, but I found an Argentinian artist called Leila Monsegur, and she was brilliant.
Yeah, I really love the ending too, because I think that the progression of the film too, and kind of ending it with that almost like expired film look, as you're talking about the expiration of womanhood. And I think you make these transitions so beautifully. And I was really touched by your film, and I hope that others were as well. And perhaps on that note, I would like to maybe pass it over to our audience to see if they would like to ask you anything.
Okay.
We kind of got like right into this Q&A. We ended with a very heavy film, so I think people haven't really had time to process everything. Yeah, go ahead. Can you hear her or?
No.
Okay,
no.
I'll have to repeat her question if that's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Of course.
So what was the response like in Brazil to this film? And yeah.
The response is being really nice. The film was in the biggest festivals here in Brazil, and for example, we have also 2 famous characters. The last one is Helena Inês. She's a famous actress. She worked in Cinema Novo and Cinema Marginal in Brazil in the 70s. So she's very well known. And also there's a singer, Raquel Virginia. She's the transgender woman of the third third chapter.
Yeah, and maybe actually building off of that question as well, were there any places, or maybe perhaps not places, but were there any experiences or reactions to the film that you received? Because your film has toured around quite a bit and done the festival track and won some amazing accolades as well. And I'm wondering if either you, the team that you worked with, or any audience member that watched your film learned anything about femininity in the process or changed their ideas of what womanhood feels like or looks like. So I'm wondering if you have any anecdotes to share with us.
Yeah, of course. For me, I think I had a lot of change during the process in regard to my own experience with my body. I think I learned a lot from the characters because the film has only 12 minutes, but we recorded almost 1 hour per character. So it was very intense, and for me was very special personally, and not only professionally. And I just remember another thing about the response from the film. It's when it used to be in person, not online. I remember that a lot of women came to me to talk about their own experience after the screenings, and this was also great. It was amazing. People could relate to their own experiences.
I mean, as a male identifying person myself, like I don't understand what menopause would feel like ever, or menstruation, but somehow your film also really spoke to me as well. And so I think that also goes to show the power and scope of your film and the impact that it can have. Does anyone else have anything that they would like to share? I'm going to go over here if that's okay. Yeah.
Of course.
So the question was it difficult to get some of these women on board to tell their stories, especially because of certain profiles and the vulnerability really of the whole thing?
I don't think so, because as it's an animated documentary, their image was protected somehow. I remember that when we recorded the voices, we were in a very comfortable space, only with women, like me and the audio recorder artist and the character, and we wanted to create a very comfortable environment. And with the form online, I think we got a great number of responses. I don't remember that no one rejecting like the project because it was uncomfortable with the thing.
I think we probably have time for another question or two. Would you still like to ask anything? So the question is, what was the process of getting to create this film? Was there any kind of moment or event that made you want to say, yes, I really need to make this movie?
I think from the very beginning, I really want to make this movie because of my own experiences. I want to express feelings I had being a young adult, a child, and even a woman, and stories I've heard from my family and friends. So since the beginning, I was very eager to tell this story. But during the process, of course, in the very beginning, I was afraid. It is my first film as a director. And I remember, especially because it's a documentary dealing with real people and their very intimate and personal stories, I was very afraid. But the process in the documentary was the most surprising for me, because in animation, everything is very well planned, and it needs to be, because it's very expensive and time consuming. But when we are dealing with documentary and real people, it's nothing well planned. So there's a lot of surprises, and I think we used a lot. We learned a lot from these surprises, because the film was supposed to be made in 2D digital in the beginning, only one technique. And after hearing their stories, I changed my mind. The first chapter, when Raquel Patricio tells about her mother and her relation with food, I just, when I heard that, it just popped into my mind. And maybe I can try to do some animation on the real dinner plate, and using real food. And this totally changed everything on the film. So we started to relating the techniques to their personal stories.
I think the film does that so beautifully, and I'm so amazed that this is your first short film as a director, and I can't wait to see what you come up with next.
Oh, thank you so much.
I think we have to wrap it up. Or one more question? One more question. One more question. Anyone? Okay, well, perhaps on that note, is there anything that you can tell us about things that you're working on currently? And can you give us a little sneak peek about what might be coming next for us?
I'm trying to finance in Brazil and also in Spain another co-production like Carne, a short film about my own experience as well. It won't be a documentary, but it will be about my worst fear as a child. I was very afraid of Jesus Christ, and I want to do maybe a comedy with this idea, a stop motion musical.
Oh my gosh.
And another idea is a series, a Carne series with characters from around the world, maybe 5 countries. For now, we are thinking about China, Palestine, Brazil, Spain, and I think I forgot, and in Nigeria. And it would be an anthology series. And we would explore more themes regarding to the body, women's body.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds fascinating. Thank you so much. I really look forward to seeing the next thing that you make, and I hope it reaches us soon. And I wish you all the best. I heard some very beautiful birds chirping behind you, so I hope you can enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you so much for joining us. It's really been a pleasure to talk to you.
Much.
Yeah, thank you. I realized I never even showed you my face. You've just been talking to a series of chairs, but that's me. Hi.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Miley. Hi. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.